Hello, Twitch chat and YouTube. Welcome to a Vintage League. This is the week after the Mana Traders, which means it's the week before the Vintage PTQ on Magic Online. We had a very good weekend. We went and top 8'd with Esper Sinker Saga and split the top 8. So overall, that was really good. However, my play experience with the Esper Saga deck was very underwhelming, to put it lightly. And so I'm still on the lookout and on searching for the best Tinker deck still. Tinker is clearly good, and you can play Tinker with any variety of cards and win vintage tournaments. That seems to be true. You can even play it with Paradoxical Outcome. But the question is that everyone is trying to figure out is what is the second best thing to be doing inside of your Tinker decks. And we've tried Saga and we've tried PO. We've tried Saga and PO. The thing we're trying tonight is what if the second best thing to do inside your Tinker deck is play a Dragon's Rage Channeler. And that is an interesting idea. So you have a typical Tinker shell. And we did try this before. In a previous video a couple weeks ago. We tried a Dragon Rage Channeler Breach Tinker deck, but we played 4 Urza Saga. This time we're going to try a Dragon Rage Channeler Tinker deck that is playing the Mystic Sanctuary shell. So we're going to play Mystic Sanctuary, Gush, Dig, Cruise. I'm currently not playing Preordains because I'm trying to play Predicts. The theory behind playing Predict is that we have all of these off-color Moxen that we can use to cast Predict. So it shouldn't have a huge bearing that it costs 1 and a blue. And then with Dragon's Rage Channeler, it always reads draw 2. With Sensei's Divining Top, it can read draw 2. With opponents' top deck tutors, you can mill them and draw 2, as long as you understand what they're going to top deck tutor for. And so the idea is we're trying to not play Preordains, and instead we're playing Predicts, which also facilitates like a Flusterstorm, Pyroblast game plan at instant speed. We are still going to try to play 1 Breach, 1 Brain Freeze in this deck, because it just doesn't feel right to be playing a Dragon's Rage Channeler deck and not be playing a Breach and a Brain Freeze. It kind of just feels like it's the correct play. But we are playing an additional graveyard power card in Yogwill. Though it doesn't synergize incredibly well with active Dragon Rage Channeler, before you cast your Yogwill, you can put a bunch of cards in using Dragon Rage Channeler, and I've been told is pretty powerful. Obviously, it's pretty good with Bolus's Citadel, gives you a 2-card kill condition. So we're going to try out a Yogwill, we're going to try out minimum Brain Freeze combo, and we're going to try out this just Tinker shell, but focusing not on Saga and instead on the powerful Mystic Sanctuary, Gush, Delve, Ancestral engine. You also, have your 2 top deck tutors in Demonic to find your Ancestral, so things get pretty powerful pretty quickly. This has been tried by a couple people, and there's been various degrees of success, so we're going to do that. That's going to be our plan tonight. If this doesn't work out, we're going to have to try to figure out something different. Maybe we'll just play PO this weekend. I don't know. I have some amount of time, right? I have a challenge on Saturday. And we have all of Friday to figure out for Sunday's PTQ, so we'll see what we can do here. All right, here we are, round 1, Vintage League. We've got a hand that contains counters and Flusterstorms, which is also a counter, and not lots of mana, but against Shockwave, who is either on Control or Doomsday, I'm going to just keep this Flusterstorm Force of Will hand. Yep. Good one. Okay. Jace. Karn. Well, I would probably rather you did not resolve a Karn on turn 1. All right, they had turn 1 Karn with Force backup. They pitched a Teferi, so that kind of sounds like Standstill to me or something. All I know is it's pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. Karn is definitely a strong one. Doesn't really do a whole lot, but it does kind of neuter my game plans. Yeah, I guess we'll take Pyroblast and land. Though the question will probably end up being, are we really casting Pyroblast? Or like, are we gonna maybe Demonic for like a land? I don't know yet. Yo, Janara, thanks for the 3 months. Appreciate that. That sound was really loud again. Oh, it's because I have Final Fantasy volume. Yeah. I keep changing my volume because I've been playing a bunch of Final Fantasy 14 recently. Got all caught up on the main storyline, working through all the trials and raids that I missed at the moment. So my W key kind of went out yesterday. So I've got a new keyboard coming in. I've had this keyboard for like 8 years or something. I don't know. It's a super long time. Okay. Crucible of Worlds. Okay. Is that what they got with this Karn? Okay. Tundra. All right, so this has got to be some kind of Saga standstill thing. They have no cards left. They have 4 mana. If they ever hit 2 mana, then they can play Lattice, which is a huge issue. I kind of think I'm supposed to Demonic Tutor for... God, that opens me up to Wasteland. I feel like I'm supposed to Demonic Tutor for Force of Will, which does feel greedy to me. Sounds good. It does feel very greedy to me. I guess if I Demonic for a land, then I can't play a Divining Top this turn, so it doesn't really do anything for me anyways. Well, my Mana Crypt is turned off, so I don't really think DTing for a 0-drop artifact is very good. My biggest problem... Okay, I'm just gonna risk it for the biscuit here. This way, if I draw a land, I can tinker. So my biggest concern is like Wasteland Lock or my opponent hitting 2 mana sources, which lets them place Lattice. Yeah, stop. Stop. What are you doing? All right. I don't really want this resolving either, so... Not a bad top deck from my opponent, though. Are they going to beat down with this Crucible of Worlds? That could happen. I don't know what's in their sideboard, to be honest, so... Could be... Yep, they're going to beat down with the Crucible of Worlds. Powerful. Powerful. Yeah, unfortunately... I mean, this does theoretically... Maybe someday kill this Karn, but... does feel unlikely. I can't DT because I had to get a red source for Pyroblast, unfortunately. Can I get a spell that I can fluster here? Why? Why? A classic Shockwave deck, if I've ever seen one. A classic Shockwave deck. Okay, 4 mana unsummon. Brilliant. Unfortunately, this what is this? Not a hill giant, but it's killing me. It is certainly killing me, and none of the cards that I've drawn have particularly helped in that regard. And so by the time I tinker here, probably is not going to matter. Oh, they're tutoring. What is it? What are they tutoring for? A Soul Guide Lantern? An Engineered Explosives. That's also bad for me, I guess. So yeah, I am I'm gonna lose this game. That's for sure. Turns out turn 1 Karn and its band of misfits is yeah. If it never 5-0s but never worse than 3-2, is it actually good? Is it actually good though? I don't really know if I consider that actually good. All right, show me your secrets. Force of Will Flusterstorm. Fair, I guess. Okay. Well. So I can cruise and then fluster their fluster. Yeah, I guess that's the play. Feel like it's better than demonicking or anything. Especially because that gets beat by fluster. I guess it wouldn't get beat by fluster because I could have demonicked. I definitely could have demonicked. So have I already played? I've already played a land this turn, so there's no black spells that I'm going to be able to cast. So I might as well be able to draw into a pyroblast. Feel like my best draw is pyroblast or bolt on Jace, and then an artifact to tinker with or something, maybe. Okay, sure. Yeah. So the problem is I don't have a Sphinx. Not that a Sphinx would beat a Jace. So I just have a Citadel. Thanks. Appreciate that. It was a pretty wild it was a pretty wild weekend. After round 1, I didn't really wake up mentally. So they drew into, so now they have Teferi Force. All right, whatever. Yeah, you got me. You got me, homie. Classic Standstill. How about a flash creature and a pyroblast and a fluster? Should I be playing a shattering spree? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I don't want 4 fluster if my opponent's threats are all planeswalkers and standstills and sagas. There's a chance I want a shattering spree. Maybe I want a shattering spree and I don't want a mana crypt. Try that. Try this maybe. Seems fine. Where are my Moxen? Well, Predict certainly looks worse than Preordain here. That's for sure. I think Predict looks better than Iteration here. But not better than Preordain. That's what I'm more worried about. Yeah, definitely don't think it's that simple, but whatever works. Definitely would be good if I had a ruby. Huh? Oh boy. I don't really know what I'm supposed to. I probably am not supposed to fetch. My opponent's gonna like. Yeah, I should never have fetched here. What am I doing? I want to gush, but I can't actually gush because they can have Ancestral Pyroblast. I guess I can gush. Well, now I can't gush because if they just... whatever. I don't know. I probably played this like shit. I just hold open my 2 fetch lands. Now they can just wasteland me. It's no problem. That was really bad. I should just hold my 2 fetches and just be sad that whatever the fuck just happened. Well, it was going better till I just threw away a land for no reason, but... Actually, it really wasn't going better. We haven't really drawn any Moxen in our 5 Mox deck, which has been problematic, for sure. Yeah, these predicts have been significantly worse than Preordain here. Significantly worse than Preordain. I don't think I would have, like, fetched them both in response either, so it doesn't really... Like, Expressive Iteration wouldn't have really worked either. Oh my god, it's got a Wasteland in this deck too. I guess I knew that because they have a Crucible in their deck, but... Yeah, I'm just kind of lucky they don't have Saga, right? Because I would just be dead to Saga. Alright, well... I am definitely punished for having these predicts instead of Preordains, but... I guess I would have gotten Wastelanded anyways. I don't know. This is just really frustrating. Because I don't really want that to resolve. So they Ancestral in response and then have Flusterstorm? No? Okay. So they could always make me crack and then Ancestral in response. Alright, so I've just seen no lands and no Moxen. I saw no Moxen last game either. I mean, it was probably good I saw no Moxen last game, seeing as they had a turn 1 Karn, but... I think I am just, perpetually... Fucking hell. I don't know, man. I don't want to play... Magic is... Maybe Cho is right. Maybe we should just go play Storybook Brawl instead. Whatever. I don't think I've ever beaten Standstill in my entire life. Not the card Standstill, all of the other cards in the Standstill deck except for Standstill. Alright, try again. I guess. Sure. Gonna let us have decent card selection on our way to something. Would you look at that? A wild Raphael is back. We missed you. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Sure, why not? It is technically action, and it also is technically Tinker, so... Yeah, whoever gave log anime emotes, what were you thinking? How could you? What we got? Interesting. Sure. Lightning bolt it. Let's graveyard that. Mystical tutor. Tinker. Tinker. I mean, this worked as planned, right? Also, sacking the... Oh, come on! No! I fucking hate this game so much. Second Dragon Rage Channeler. No, I kind of need like Ancestral, right? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't understand either. And then Ruby into expressive iteration? Jeez, what is it like? What is it like? I think I'm just too blacklisted now. I think the truth of the matter is I'm far too blacklisted to play Magic Online anymore. I literally can't. I literally cannot be. It's not the expressive iteration, it's the fact that they have Ruby into expressive iteration into Black Lotus. Like, come on, Karate, you know what's going on here. Oh, into Mentor as well. And yeah, Brainstorm Fetchland, sure, why not? I don't know. I kind of maybe what am I supposed to do? I 1-for-1 their Lavinia, tinkered with force backup on turn 2. Just didn't work out, man. Yeah, I do. I don't know, man. Whatever. Sure. I guess I could still theoretically win this game, right? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, if I brainstorm into Yogwill, that could win this game. They just like hit a treasure cruise. Into Time Walk? Okay. Never miss. Never miss. Fair. Fair. Fair, I guess. I'm just a pleb playing, you know, shit cards, I guess. Look at me, an idiot for tinkering. Maybe we need to play the Oath of Druids deck. Maybe that's the key. I guess this is keepable. This is the most Moxen I've seen all league. No, those dude, they like look at this hand. Look at this hand, chat. It doesn't do anything. I guess my hand also doesn't do anything, but we'd ignore that part of it. But look at my opponent's hand. Land Preordained, Land Dreadhorde Arcanist? That's gonna lose you a modern game. I fucking hate Jeskai. It's like 1000% you lose a game of modern if you keep that hand. I'm thinking we just... Nah, I probably let the Preordained resolve. What am I kidding? I think I'm gonna draw this other land here. The only thing I would rather draw is like a super action, but I'm not gonna draw the jet, but none of that nonsense. All right, we don't draw jet now. We have counter magic. We've got counter magic. We'll just draw our Black Lotus like our opponent, and then we'll just slam a Citadel. It'll be lit. My opponent does have 4 other cards that we don't know about. I guess we're not really set up to beat another Dreadhorde Arcanist here, but you got it. Maybe I'm not supposed to play that Volk. I guess it represents Force of Will at least. All right, what do we got this time? Is it DAC or Treasure Cruise? I mean, the problem is we've 1-for-1'd our opponent on every turn, but they're just going to resolve this Treasure Cruise and we're going to lose. Okay. Couldn't we have done that with like things on the stack or something? No. I mean, that would be like an assumption that we didn't like. I don't really think that's like true, not me, because these are all lands and artifacts that would also be in our Saga deck, right? Not like we would be able to hardcast Saga here. I mean, theoretically, they're in our Saga deck. All right, Predict looks worse than Expressive Iteration and Ponder here, and Preordain. That is most certainly true. So I didn't really expect to draw like mono. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I guess we die. One thing I guess it does protect us from is Mystic Sanctuary, but the thing is they got rid of their Ancestral, so. It's a pretty good, decent draw. Chase? It's the Discover End version. I mean, a little late there, friend. A little late. Yeah, maybe our deck sucks. I don't know. Was an idea. I do feel like we're drawing way worse though, right? Like we could draw Ancestral. All right, here we go. Our opponent's gonna Mystic Never mind. They're not gonna Mystic Sanctuary back Treasure Cruise. They're just gonna cast Treasure Cruise from their yard. All right, well, bottom. All right, here's a Treasure Cruise. I assume my Force of Will is getting Pyroblasted, to be perfectly honest, but give it our best shot. Yep. Kind of figured that was going to happen the way they had tapped this whole game. All right. There's no way this gets countered, right? I don't know. I mean, theoretically, we've drawn a lot of the cards that are good in the matchup. I guess probably shouldn't have left Flusterstorm. Force Pitch Force. I don't know. Like, am I supposed to just cycle this predict? Probably. There's no way this also gets Pyroblasted, right? No, I think Arena makes me not like Magic very much. One player resolved Treasure Cruise. All right, well, we can try again next turn. That'll be fun. I do think that Ancestral is better than getting Dig here. Brainstorm with Fetch Land. Oh, they do have a Sanctuary after my predict has been used. I'm just so over this. Yeah, okay. All right, here we are, round 3 of our testing league, trying to figure out how bad this deck actually is. Juan is actually expanding the range a little bit here with a Dredge deck, it seems. So that makes my life easier. I was wondering if I should mulligan this hand. Now the answer is absolutely I should be mulliganing this hand, and I should be keeping this hand. Is Bizarre Pio back? Was it ever here? I don't think so. I don't recommend people put those 2 cards in the same deck, but this is a good hand. This is a good hand for sure. All right, so my opponent is down a Force of Will. I'm gonna just start with Pearl Time Walk, and I don't want to expose my Lotus to Vigor. So now I can go Lotus Tinker, and I'm not exposed to Vigor or Trap. And then I can start resolving Magic the Gathering cards. Yeah, but they're like not likely to do it, you know? All right. That has successfully got my opponent to concede. Not exactly sure how I'm winning from there. I guess maybe just a lethal brain freeze, probably. Or like Yogwill thing. All right, what do I have? I have Jailers. And I have Surgical, Tabernacle, Needle, Soul Guide Lantern. That's some Dredge hate. I guess I also have Sinks. And then Yogwill, Narset, Island, Bolt, Blast, Predict. I agree with that statement for sure. The way you win with your Citadel is hardly relevant, or usually not relevant. Cut misstep. I guess we're not a wasteland deck, so sure. You like Yogwill though? How does Yogwill interact with Jailer? Probably fine. I don't know. Why do you like Yogwill in this matchup? I've always found Yogwill to be not super good. We did win a game, and our game was game 1 versus Dredge. But I'm pretty sure that's the power of just having a Tinker hand, right? And that's why it doesn't really matter what other cards you put in your Tinker deck. You can always still win. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times they have Force of Negation, though, right? I don't know. Not 100% sure how I feel about keeping Will in. It's probably fine. Yes, I agree. One cannot mold a Tinker every game. And even if you do, you might not win. So. And we will be on the ever winding path of figuring out what other 59 cards go in your Tinker deck. This looks good to me. Force, Lantern, Tinker. It's a pretty nice one. Oh, no Dredger from our opponent. That kind of signals that they have forces. No Hollow one either. Interesting. What's the best way to play this? Is it still like top and Lantern and top, and then end step Mystical for Tinker? Or do you just jam a Jailer like this? Probably just supposed to jam a Jailer. I kind of agree. Does feel like that's the play. If my Jailer resolves, do we play a Lantern or we just play a top? Top, probably, I would guess. I don't really know if the therapies make the Jailer more. I feel like just the Jailer is a better path forward. It really hedges them on like having to have extremely narrow outs, right? So they have to have exactly Force of Will plus Force of Will or Force of Will plus Mindbreak Trap right now. And then if it does resolve, they have to either have a Contagion in their deck to start. If they do have it in their deck, they would draw it. And if not, they would have to have a Hollow one. So I think the Jailer just puts them in a very narrow situation. So they did have Force. Oh, they had Contagion. Wow. I'm gonna get fucking rolled by a Mindbreak Trap. I'm about to get rolled by a Mindbreak Trap. Wow. They had Contagion and Force. And Force. All right. Wow. Okay. So they have one card in hand. They did not upkeep Bazaar. Because they had a Wasteland. It was their last card. Wow. Okay. And they didn't activate Bazaar again. They're just going to do it on my end step. I guess that makes sense. That was definitely not the ideal way to go for us. I'm going to naturally draw here so that way I can play Lantern and... Ooh. And spin. Am I supposed to? I'm still supposed to play Lantern, right? I think this is fine. I guess their last card could be Misstep. I think it doesn't really matter, but if I wasn't to cast Mystical, I would want to play land into Breach to play Jailer, probably. I think we're very much going to win this game because we just have Mystical into Tinker, and my opponent doesn't really get to do anything because I have a Lantern. We just had a little bit too much action. I think we lose this game if our first top deck was not a Jailer. Yeah, if our first top deck wasn't Jailer, we would probably lose this game. They're going to activate in response? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Isn't that really bad? Okay. They did. All right, we vanquished Dredge, but that doesn't really tell us much about our deck, so... All right, here we go. Vintage League. We're trying to determine how good this deck is, how bad this deck is, all of the above. Do you keep this hand, chat? This is like the fourth or fifth hand we've had that's like force, counterspell, 4 mana sources. I assume you just don't ever keep this. It's also a hand that Predict is very bad in, so if like had Express, like yeah, London Mulligan. You love to see a good London Mulligan, right? Yeah, I'm not physically equipped with the sit down and wait gene. It's not how it works around here. So the downside of playing out all my Moxen is if my opponent vigors me, but whatever. I think the answer to the riddle here is just cast Ancestral. I could be wrong, but it definitely seems like pretty straightforward. Cast Ancestral, see what happens. Okay. All right. Well, now we can Mystical on our upkeep for a Tinker. Why not Merchant? I can Merchant for a Force. Is that what you want me to do? I don't think that's unreasonable, but it doesn't really feel like the way I want to play this game out. Okay. Is this Doomsday? Feels like we're dead. Uh-oh. Would I rather have the Brainstorm or the Merchant Scroll? No, I think I'd rather have the Merchant Scroll than Brainstorm. I don't really feel like Brainstorm is necessary. They didn't draw that many cards off their Necro. Oh, they are Doomsday though. So I don't really have high hopes of this working, but I think we're just supposed to go for it. I guess I theoretically could Mystical for a Brain Freeze. That would be pretty silly though. I can just get a Brain Freeze on a Merchant Scroll after, maybe. I feel like trying to play against a Necro and Doomsday combo is just like a failing endeavor. Doesn't it make like way more sense to tinker? Brain Freeze is a lot less powerful when my opponent knows I have it. So I don't really like that line. Tinker is just going to get smashed by a Flusterstorm. But I don't really feel like I'm getting another turn. So I feel like I'm just supposed to grab a Tinker and jam. Not going to show that I have red mana yet. I just feel like it's incredibly unlikely for us to get another turn, right? I don't know. Maybe that's a misevaluation, but I feel like giving ourselves the opportunity to win the game, possibly if they had really bad hand, it sounds better to me than hoping that we get another turn. Well, I mean, I would like to know if the play is to not jam. However, I don't feel like the play is to not jam, so. Mystical, they have Probe or Street Wraith, I guess. Doomsday. Or are they just going to draw into it? If they're just drawing into Doomsday, I don't know what our Merchant Scroll target is, but maybe we should just we could Merchant Scroll for a Brain Freeze. Had to wait on it. I don't know. There also is like a there's a power, not a power. There are upsides to making them have and using counter spells. Like my opponent using a Flusterstorm there does make me potentially getting a Brain Freeze better, right? Like they tutored for a Doomsday, which means they're pretty priced into Doomsdaying. If I draw a draw spell, I can Mystical into Tinker next turn. So I kind of think that... Oh, I should not have used my Soul Ring. That was a mistake. Maybe this buys me time. I don't know. I don't want to show them I have Lotus, but maybe because I don't know how much that matters. I could have gone for like a dig through time here. It does feel like it's pretty hard for them to build a Doomsday pile through a Brain Freeze, right? Maybe this is not enough. I definitely lost a mana here, which is problematic, right? Because now the Flusterstorm is going to be too big for me to pay for. Well, no, I can pay for some of it. I can pay for 3 of it. So it's probably fine. How are they beating my Brain Freeze here? I definitely should not have used Soul Ring. That was just like a reflex from Pio. But I should definitely have just tapped one of my blue lands to play my Merchant Scroll. I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah, I guess that's true, Romulu. I guess that's true. Yeah. I don't know. It's like a little bit of both, right? But I guess it's more likely for them to counter the Lotus after than for them to counter the Brain Freeze, or to not counter the Brain Freeze because we withheld Lotus. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I mean, the minute they cast any draw spell, we just cast Brain Freeze and hope it works, right? Did they not notice what we got on Merchant Scroll on? They didn't notice what we Merchant Scrolled for. Yeah, I guess that's one way to win a game of Vintage. Sure. Is this why the Doomsday win rate is so low? This must be it. I'm not harping on you, opponent. It happens. It happens. All right. Buster, Pyro, Flash Creature, Surgical maybe. Bolt. Island. Are we allowed to take out Island in this deck? I feel like we probably are. Mystical? Not sure. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We've got a Force, and we've got a pile of garbage. I'm off it. Let's try again. All right, this one looks a little bit better. Three of a kind. Dark Ritual. It's like a Dark Ritual. In the fact that it's one in a black and I'm countering it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Doomsday is a very interactive deck. It has the most counter magic of any deck in the format, so pretty interactive, you know? Yeah. Okay. 4 cards in hand. Pass. Okay. All right. Ooh. All right. I'll play the Crypt now. Well, I'm feeling pretty good about this. This is the Matt Murray style of Kill Doomsday, where we let the Doomsday resolve and then fight them afterwards. Watery Grave. A classic. Doomsday. Resolves. You got it. I have activated my kill condition. Yes, very nice. Very nice. Good. Good. Fantastic. Hey, this is what everyone always told me about one Brain Freeze being good enough against Breach. You just have to draw it every time. Easy as that. All right, my opponent's like super dead though, because like they're tapped out and I have a Brain Freeze and a Fluster, right? So there's just 0% chance my opponent can ever win this game. Yeah. So like we've been lucky in the Dredge and the Doomsday matchups, just not the Jeskai and the Standstill matchups, I guess. I don't know. These 4 matches could not have been more our first 2 matches could not have been more different than our last 2 matches, right? Okay, it's your 5th and final match of whatever the hell this deck is called. Dragon Tinker. So far, we've had 4 one-sided games or matches. Can we make it 5? I think they're gonna play Witch Tinker. Let's see. Wake me up before you combo. Ben does. That is a thing Ben is liable to do. That's not a new blue witch. The card is very bad. Come on now. Why you gotta ask that like a TMD user? Come on. Not a TMD user. TMD, well, maybe. A Facebook group poster. Is this card the next coming of Witch? I think Witch is pretty good. I really do think that y'all are underselling Witch. I don't know what happened to the Zoomers that they like jumped off the Witch train that they were pushing, but uh-oh. 1 second, sorry. How are you? I guess I am. Oh, yes. Girl. Yeah. Turn on some lights and loud if you want. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, dishwasher's running, yeah. Okay, draw. It's on the right side as you walk into the kitchen. That was pretty good. This looks like Doomsday. So, kind of think I'm gonna continue holding everything up. Yeah, maybe give me like 15 minutes, probably be done. I just cleaned out all the recyclable, so. I don't see any reason to make any plays here besides that one. That one's pretty good. This will give us a clock. That would be Mother. Ancestral Recall. Don't really want that to resolve. They could technically daze, or they're gonna ritual to pay for it. Yeah, I guess that's something that could happen here, isn't it? Should I have played around that? I thought it was like a little too risky to put my own Ancestral on the stack with my opponent having the access to be able to Flusterstorm me. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know exactly how I was supposed to play that. Maybe I was just supposed to let Fluster resolve. Or let Ancestral resolve. Hey, puppy. I don't think they can actually see you. Oh, hi. Hello. Ow. I mean, if they don't Doomsday kill me here. It's pretty good for me, being able to untap with all this extra mana. I'll also have double Ancestral with Mystic Sanctuary. So, what are you whining about? Just whines? And that's why you're going to training school. Oh, right. Yes, you're turning into a hunting dog. Right. Right. Just playing online first. I actually do know the person I am playing against. He went to Italy with us. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. It's still a little echoey. I didn't do enough to fix it, but I figured if I move, then I don't really care, right? I haven't cleaned up too much, so don't look around too much. I don't know. Like I was thinking about moving a chair over to that corner, just like more objects. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I think move the white chair over there, but it hasn't been too bad, so. That's not mine, but Ben left it behind, and I said I'd take it, so. Oh, it's kind of nice, I think. Arc Ritual? Food? So, in the bowl? I made it tonight, before the stream. No, I already ate half of it. Sure. It's, Southwest pork with kiwi salsa and lime sour cream and pickled jalapenos. Just watch out for the big jalapenos. Yeah, dodge those. My opponent is mysticaling. Should we get him with this predict? When they go to... Oh, they put a doomsday on top. Okay. Okay, they have fluster. So this is all just flustering my stack. I'm just gonna let this happen. And then what I'll do is I'm just gonna put... I should have fetched first. No, I shouldn't have fetched first. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fetch the Ancestral back to the top of my library. And then I'm gonna predict away their Doomsday. Well, okay, so this is the time where predict is insane, right? I just blanked their top deck tutor and drew 2 cards. Okay, all right. Well, predict gets some points there for sure. They concede. Oh, lethal predict. Okay, all right. How do I get a screenshot of that, chat? How do I get a screenshot of that? There's too many things happened. Guess I have to... it's gonna be too much work. That was pretty big. A pretty big one, though. I'll take that. All right, so we brought in Borrower, Fluster, Blast. And we took out Island, Bolt, Mystical. I think that's what we took out. Submit. Yeah, I wouldn't let her eat things off the floor. I haven't cleaned over there in a while. Oh, it's probably a pasta, right? Yeah, I made pasta the other night. No worries, Stillskin. I don't use a rental service currently. I own all the cards. However, Mana Traders or what's the other one, chat? Card Hoarder are the two people use. And also, if you just want to play for just this weekend or this week from September 1st to September 8th, you can spend $20 on an all access pass. And that's going to be happening a couple weekends in the end of this year. If you're interested in paying like $20 for a week of all the cards, that's a thing. You got to look up like pastimes.net and play like a Gen Con. What the heck? Turn 1 Black Lotus Doomsday? Why do I feel like if I counter this, I'm going to get flustered? I'm still supposed to counter this, right? No, I didn't get flustered. Okay. Dark Ritual Doomsday? Fair. Fair. Okay, fair. So let's think about this. If they choose to draw into Ancestral, right? And they go like Lotus Thassa's Oracle. Is there any world where I can let Ancestral resolve? That's my question, I guess. So they have 2 cards in hands. They go to 5 card. Lotus Thassa. Yeah, so they just have force for it. So I have to just counter this. I mean, I'm still losing to... Oh. All right. Fair, I guess. You got me, homie. Oh, man. Doomsday, chat. Doomsday. That is definitely a Doomsday game of vintage if I've ever seen one. Yeah. It's okay. Even if we lose, we did get to predict kill them in game 1, so where are our brain freezes, you know? All right, what about this one, chat? Force plus Dragon Rage Channeler? I kind of think you're supposed to keep this. What are you putting them up on? My couch? I don't really care. You can put them on the couch. Do you have her doing tricks on the couch? I'd say you can watch TV, but I don't think the TV plugs into anything. Oh, you should take the chairs back. No, take the chairs back. I don't believe you. You're just trying to dump more stuff on me. Do you want that desk in the front of the house? For weeks, yes. There's also a bed frame. You can still take that. I don't think the bed frame being outside for a few weeks is going to change anything. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Oh, you like it? Nice. Yeah, just don't eat the pickled jalapenos and stop. Do you not hear her at all, chat? Is the mic detection that good? That's pretty funny. All right, so my opponent probed me, so they know exactly the fact that we have a Force of Will in our hand. That's a decent one to put in our graveyard because it's a hard type to find. What we really want to find here is another Force, I guess. It's not very good. We do have 3 types now, though. Okay, we found another Force and a Fluster. Beautiful. And a scroll for a Breach, maybe. Or not a Breach, a Freeze. This does mean I'm probably not streaming Storybook Brawl after, chat, for those who couldn't figure that one out. Dark Ritual. Doomsday. We're supposed to let this Doomsday resolve, right? Maybe not. Maybe we're not supposed to let this resolve. Oh, I probably should have ordered this in a different way. That was probably stupid. I should have put something I wanted to get rid of. Were there any cards that I wanted to get rid of? If I get rid of a sorcery. So after I draw into force. So I should put this a different way, right? Draw into force and then spin and put the merchant scroll on above the fluster. And then cast Time Walk. Well, casting Time Walk is going to be my sorcery anyways. So I don't need to do that. Unless it gets like negated. Yeah. Oh, this is just getting flustered. Okay. Yeah, I guess this is what we want, right? Well, I guess we don't want to draw the fluster. We would rather leave the predict on top to get rid of and draw like this. No, that's wrong. I think I've managed this pretty terribly. Ben says he had me dead last turn, but he accidentally clicked through the force. Yes. I don't think he knows about my second Force of Will, though, so I think he thinks that I only had one force. This is gonna be dig. That's fine. This clock is very real. So I'm gonna draw into fluster, so I'll have fluster mana, and I'll be able to top into scroll. So I have force plus fluster and a 3/3. So I think we're winning this game. Though we are still tanking on this dig through time. All right, the dig through time has resolved. Black Lotus. Doomsday? Necro. That resolves. Yeah, I read a lot of solo leveling. It's very pretty, really well drawn. I actually think there's supposed to be an anime adaptation coming out. I'm not 100% sure though. All right, so here we just F6 and attack through our turn. We have force plus predict plus... Wait. I have a Flusterstorm on top, right? I think I have force plus Flusterstorm. It's a manhwa, so it's a Korean webcomic thing. I don't know if the anime's come out yet. I don't believe it has, or I think I would have watched it. It's pretty good though. I read a lot. Yeah, I read a lot of the chapters of Solo Leveling. The story is like fine, but the this doesn't like matter though, right? I guess it lets them draw into more stuff. I guess that's not really relevant, right? What is relevant here? What cards can possibly be relevant? Like, if they cast Doomsday, who cares? I feel like they're very dead. Even with going up to 10 cards. I should probably spin at the end of turn here, though. Yeah, it didn't really change anything. Just draw this fluster. And attack. And they have to kill us with 2 life and a Necropotence. Don't really know how they're going to manage to do that. I guess they could have like a Tassiger or something. No, this thing flies. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to find here that could get them out of this. All right, Dragon's Rage Channeler plus counterspells. Also with a predict kill. And we, of course, went 3-2. we beat Doomsday twice. And we crushed Dredge. And then we got destroyed by Jeskai. And we got destroyed by Standstill. And did we learn anything, chat? What did we learn about our deck? Anything? Dragon's Rage Channeler looked good. Predict was pretty bad except for the exact one instance where our opponent cast a Mystical Tutor and we got them really good. We don't draw Ancestral and Tinker though. Our deck is pretty medium, but I guess that's just all decks. So I don't know if it's worth harping on. So how would we change it going forward? We would cut Predict down for Preordains, probably. How do we... I guess we would probably just have to fit 4 Preordains into this deck, right? And then what do you cut? What's the other card? The third Fluster at that point, probably. So then you would just go like this, and you're just... Top was fine. We probably don't need 2 tops if we have no thingy bobber. Predict. Excuse me. I do like having a top though. All right, so I mean, this just kind of looks like any other Breach list except has Tinker in it, right? This is just any deck that Kane has ever played, basically. Except he didn't like Dragon's Rage Channeler. But Dragon Rage Channeler has been very good for us. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not really sure that this is the best way to play Tinker. But it certainly is a way you can play Tinker. And that's what matters. Sorry, YouTube, if you ended up hearing a one-sided conversation between me and my mom. But at least we have to see a dog. So, you know, small victories, small victories. Yeah, if you know how to build Tinker, make sure that you put it in the comments of this YouTube video. Because I would love to know. Thanks for watching.